Hello, welcome back to the GG.Bet Beijing Invitational. It's day 3, and it's the day of losers. We've got the teams that haven't quite made it just yet, and some of them won't make it.
Yeah. Like, what a nice way to coin that phrase. To coin the day as well. But it's true. Yeah, it's the less fortunate of the day 1 and 2 competitors that we're going to be taking on. OpTic, ex-Epsilon to start us off. We saw them both having, their issues versus Mouse Sports and Forge respectively. And then on the other side, once we get to the next best of 3, obviously that's going to be completely blanking, but it's going to be one more time and Gamer Legion.
Yes.
No, not Gamer Legion.
Not Gamer Legion. Gamer Legion are
exactly.
Already
They're one step ahead. One step ahead. It's not going to be that, but it will be. Jesus.
One more time and. Oh, how have we done this? There's too many teams.
Yeah, how have we gotten in here? In any case, I'll figure that out.
I literally looked at this about 3 seconds ago as well. That is rough, but it is the day of losers in terms of some of them will continue to be losers.
Heroic,
but some
of course.
Yes,
I think we tried to repress
pretty
the
easy
fact.
to forget, yeah.
I think we tried to repress the fact that they lost 16-0.
We were talking about this in the car. They're going to play much better, right? But then suddenly we forgot about it completely. And I think Heroic will definitely want to forget about that first day performance.
Yeah,
as well.
It wasn't a memorable performance, that's for sure. They do get a second chance, but for now we're going to be focusing on ex-Epsilon versus OpTic, and we're going to head right into the veto. And Mirage being the map to get taken out first, Vertigo as well. We haven't seen Vertigo yet so far in this Invitational.
No, we haven't. And, we're not going to. Ex-Epsilon getting rid of it. It's going to be Nuke for OpTic. And this is obviously a very good map for the Danes.
Makes sense,
Ex-Epsilon going for Inferno.
Yeah. That's that being open, I guess, in the book for them is not going to be a bad thing. Then again, you'd imagine that OpTic has a fair idea of how to play the map. In terms of the decider, with Overpass and Dust 2 gone, it leaves us with Train. And again, I think that's overall a pretty decent affair for OpTic. They're going to be. I don't think there's any wild cards in this map pool necessarily, but and again, if you go by if you go by the map's percentages, I suppose on the side of ex-Epsilon, they haven't ended up with 3 bad maps for themselves.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's also not bad for OpTic. And if you're looking at it on paper, you've got to say OpTic are going to be the winners here. I think probably a 2-0 it might be on the cards.
It might be. I think that obviously the giveaway out of all these 3 maps would be Nuke. That should be a map that OpTic kind of stomped their way through ex-Epsilon. It's such a strategical map. It's such a technical map that you need to be very in tune with each other. We saw already, not yesterday, but the day before, that ex-Epsilon definitely had their issues in terms of how they, how well synergized they were within their unit as a team. And I don't think it's going to improve necessarily. If you have those kind of issues on Dust 2, you're probably going to have that on a map like Nuke as well.
We were talking a lot about the OpTic preparation coming into the first day. And they definitely showed it on the T side, but not a whole lot on the CT side. Yeah,
Mirage was a bit of a wonky affair in that sense. Also, that could be down to, I guess, daily form in terms of just not winning out duels.
That could obviously,
yeah, exactly. That's always a tough task. So for them, it could be a various amount of things. I don't think we're gonna label anything as a failure or them being not ready to perform necessarily. I think it's just something that can happen day-by-day situation. So I'm expecting to see more of a consistent performance out of them today. Now we get into best of 3 series as well. Had they played a best of 3 versus Force, could have been different too, right?
Yeah.
So remains to be seen. But OpTic, they felt at least on social media super confident about where they found themselves. Leading up to this stint of tournaments and invitationals.
Yeah, well, there has been quite a few days. So we're going to take a little look at the groups to remind ourselves of what's going on. Currently, Group A, we see Mouse Sports top that group. And obviously, that's the group we expect Mouse Sports to top.
Yeah, so Mouse Sports going through without a single loss. They were able to beat Force to grab that victory. That means that Force are playing in the decider game tomorrow. So we're going to have to wait to see them play out. But yeah, no doubt so far, Mouse Sports looking like the better team. And looking at, I guess how the bracket would shape up, you would figure that probably the guys from Group A would be their highest competition.
Yeah, I think Group A is definitely the most stacked group out of all of them. Group B definitely had a couple of weaknesses. That's why we expect the likes of Heroic to perhaps perform slightly better. But getting 16-0 by Gamer Legion, not what was coming through as an expected result for them.
Yeah, not impressive. And to be fair, ever since they made the roster changes they've made, they haven't looked as good of a team. Just simple fact of it. So I don't think there's anything unjust about having both Heroic and G2 being the 2 teams to at least go further. G2 obviously securing their spot in the semis. Gamer Legion waiting for an opponent in the decider finals after losing yesterday.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, definitely expected more out of Heroic than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, definitely a lot more. And, well, obviously, we can't see all of these teams progress today. There's going to be some that do take the loss and don't make it.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sad about seeing the likes of One More Time not really getting a time to shine in their opening game. They definitely showed quite a few plays. I think they did have some decent moments, but again, it is not really enough to when you're playing against a far superior team.
Yeah, it is hard as well, right? You you slug your way through that open qualifier to make it to this point, which is in itself a bit of an accomplishment for any team, and then getting the draw against G2, Dust 2 in your first matchup at a best of one. That's a rough cookie to kind of crack, or rough nut to crack, but I think they did admirably. Again, they were able to go toe-to-toe with G2 up until about 10-8. And after that, it kind of fizzled out, and that's fine. That's completely fine. You don't expect necessarily anything more out of them, with their first go of it at this kind of a level. So we'll see if they do better in best of threes, or if that's where more of their weaknesses will shine through. But I think regardless, even though they might end their tournament life here today, they would still have gotten significant experience and a lot of things they can tack onto this and learn from just by playing these two series.
Yeah, it's definitely not a super strong opponent either. Heroic are not looking too solid, so a good chance for them moving forward today. Yeah. But this is the game we've got in our hands. It's going to be OpTic versus ex-Epsilon. We're not wasting any time. Victor straight through towards A site, and Nuke finding a kill as well. Surreal picks one up, and straight away, ex-Epsilon in with a 3-man advantage and control the A bomb site.
Yeah. Surreal was definitely one of the players on ex-Epsilon that had things going for himself versus Mouse Sports. Showcasing solid individual skill from time to time, and Config is, currently in the task of doing the same thing. He's netted himself 3 kills already. He doesn't have a defuse kit, so that bomb going down is going to be a bit of an issue for him, but still has a healthy amount of HP.
Has to be the ace clutch from Config. And he's done these so far in the Invitational, not this one. But there's the chance, there's the 4K. One more player to find, it's real, one bullet away! Config! His clutch comes through, all 5 kills, and OpTic will get the pistol. That's exactly what we want to see.
That's the perfect start for OpTic, absolutely so. If, obviously, as an added bonus to just winning the pistol round from a bit of a rough position, it's the fact that you kind of get Config fired up about himself. Yeah. You talked about this when we were going over the groups on the very first day of the Invitational, the fact that MSL seeming to has this, horse whisperer kind of ability to bring out the best in certain players.
Turn Config from a pony into a stallion.
Absolutely, right? So he's that Mustang running around just being majestic as ever, and starts us off in a brilliant fashion. And that's obviously extremely vital for a team like OpTic. Obviously, they have great individuals across the board, but Config used to be one of the best players in the world.
He definitely was, and has the potential to become one once again, but it is going to be the day that comes in and does quite a bit of damage onto Crucial and NK.
Yeah, the two people who didn't have Kevlar as well, so it's that much worse for them to be anywhere near it. Oh, Surreal saw Amenasal slipping down through the fence. This is actually pretty good by all things considered. Oh, wow, that was painful.
Was that? Who was that?
I'm curious if that was a teammate.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a teammate.
Because there was no angle for CT to actually find anything. Okay, that's an angle in itself. Crucial downs Cajun. So a 2-minute advantage. Still some damage being done to Config and himself as well. This could very easily swing. And it's these second round buys we talked about once the T side is able to actually just get a bomb plant down. You usually get a better buy than the CTs, even though the CTs won a round, which is kind of crazy. The fact that OpTic hasn't been connected on a single thing just yet. There we go. First kill.
Is Config going to have to do it all again? Bottom line coming in. Victor up towards him.
Off.
Yeah. Well, Smoke is going to go through. Still a chance here for OpTic, albeit very thin at this point.
It's the fact that they don't have head armor, at least on a couple of players, is going to make it a little bit more feasible for someone like Tessus, but just going to get the chance to fire a bullet nicely done from Spell in there. 2 kills to close it out. And ex-Epsilon not phased at all by the fact that they had Config running a train on them for the first round.
Yeah, they realistically, they should have won that pistol. It didn't pan out because Config was just too good, but they get it down to the 4 spy, and it'll be 1-1. OpTic going for the 4 spies, the Kevlar themselves with the Deagle, and MSL going for the Scout, trying to soften up some of these opponents so that the pistol's going to have an easier time.
So, just out of curiosity, what do you think about the current state of the economy in Counter-Strike? Because
I don't like it.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Because I've been left with this feeling mainly because these kind of buys that we just saw, great shot from Config, the kind of buys we saw at Epsilon or ex-Epsilon, they're becoming far too common. And it's not like they weren't a possibility back in the day either, but you wouldn't have 3 rifles and.
I mean,
you wouldn't be able to do. You wouldn't have that much of a better buy than the CTs did. Like if you win rounds, you're meant to be at an advantage, and with the current economy, it feels like that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, it's almost like you're getting rewarded for losing. So it's like being back at sports day and everybody gets a participation award. Yeah. Well, MSL is going to be sitting back with a scout. It's going to be the kill connected on towards Victor. The scout getting the first frag for OpTic, but it does run both ways here. OpTic have got a decent buy coming into this one.
Well, they've got deals at least, and Danish deals are never easy to deal with. Tessis is going to get found out by Surreal. We'll see how quickly they can get the bomb plant down. Smokes are in place. So this team is still, though, Nico's actually able to find the connection before he dies. That's pretty big.
Yeah. Great shot coming in.
Are they going to first hit arc now? That's...
MSL's going to be waiting for it. AK picked up, headshot connected, and it's all in Spellin. 1v2. Doable for this guy with 20 seconds left. Yeah, he's got the bomb in his back, so at least that's something. But Config, he's in the side of the vent.
Yeah, I'm like this approach from Config. He knows that Spellin has to do one of 2 things. Either commit to the lower bomb site, in which case he can just wait out for MSL to come closer. They can work together. And the other option is for Spellin, obviously, to rotate upstairs. And if the more awkward of an angle he takes, the better it is for him to win at the duel.
Yeah, so it is going to be the forced buy reply from OpTic to get them a win as well. And ex-Epsilon, well, their money's not bad, so they'll get another buy themselves. So I'm starting to see this very scrappy back and forth start to occur. And the scary thing is, for the CT side, this sort of back and forth, it'll never really favor them.
Yeah, it's just that much more expensive, right? But one thing that I'll put notice to is that Epsilon does not have an SG this time around.
Yeah, but they're already on the A-bomb side, so that's definitely something they can work with as MSL. Will get one, but he's dropped through the smoke. Should be able to find that one, but Nico right through the smoke. The Krieg picking up 2. It's on to Crucial NK in a 2v3, and Nico keeps going forward. He's looking for this final kill onto Crucial, and the Dutchman is hiding. He has picked up that kill, and eventually tries to run away. And, well, he is pretty low. Config is also low, so perhaps a slight chance here for Crucial.
At least he makes it out, and he doesn't have the bomb on his back, so potential to get at least some more money if he's not going to be able to win the round.
Ooh, if he starts to wrap heaven, that could be an interesting approach to this, but...
Absolutely. Right now, though, the lower bomb side is somewhat open. Their Config has made a rotation down, but as you said, he's also on low HP. So, fake bomb plant, see if you can get a reaction out of anyone.
Timing.
Oh, is it? Yeah, this is not going to be good for Crucial, is it?
Yeah, Config doesn't want to overcommit. He can just wait, swing the doors open. Crucial is going to commit to the bomb plant.
Oh, he's not taking it.
He's not peeking it, so there we go. Bomb plant taken. Crucial has some time.
But Config is just playing this, you know, he's playing the percentages here. He knows that if he waits for Tessis, there's much bigger likelihood of them winning out the round.
Oh. The timing just unlucky there for Crucial. Config comes up the stairs, clears the backside of the door, and he will get the kill for his trouble. So 3-1 here for OpTic. Defuse coming through, and I think they'll be pretty happy with that, all things considered. They survive yet another forced buy. But will ex-Epsilon decide to take the half buy here, or do they go for the risky play again?
You'd hope that they take a half buy and then go back and take a more standardized way of playing Nuke. They try their, you know, it's fair they give it a go, seeing if they can break the economy with the CTs, but you can only do that for so long.
Yeah, there's a certain point where it just becomes a little bit stupid.
Yeah. For right now, though, doing all right for themselves. Still early days, and again, T-side on Nuke is not the same T-side on Nuke as it was if you want to go back 5 or 6 years ago, where it was more like a death sentence if you couldn't win the pistol.
Yeah, it's much more balanced, and
absolutely.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't necessarily agree with the idea of every map needs to be an 8-sided. I kind of actually hate that. I love having one-sided maps.
If you're a team that has a strong defense, perhaps not a strong attacking side, then you know those maps will be more favored towards you, and yeah, it gives something extra to the game.
Yeah, absolutely right, but then again, I don't think there's like the way they've balanced Nuke necessarily is innately bad. Obviously, you could talk about how the event changes is probably the biggest one that's changed how this map is played. But I still think there's a case of less than great teams will still have issues on the T side of Nuke.
Yeah, true.
They will still have those nightmare scenarios where you lose 12-3 or even worse, and not have any sort of idea of how to get back into the swing of things. But I think for people who have kind of understood how to play Nuke more efficiently, because obviously Nuke has become more and more played with additions of other maps into the map cycle, some people obviously not wanting to adapt to new looks or just not having playstyles to suit another map, they will start figuring out Nuke. And I think that's we're just seeing teams being better at Nuke in general, which obviously leads to them getting more and more T rounds once they start figuring it out.
I think that also flips the other way as well. Less than the great teams can sometimes get stomped even when they're on the CT side.
Yeah,
there are teams that are getting so good at the T side.
Absolutely.
I think it was in the last Invitational we actually casted at one of the Nuke games that literally had 3 CT rounds in regulation.
Oh god, yes, that was B Pro and I want to say Sprout.
Yeah.
It went to like quadruple overtime or something crazy, and for the better part, it was only T side rounds.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. So it has that game sort of showed that it flipped the other way.
That's definitely an interesting thing. I like watching Nuke when we see that T side being able to do more than just this strategy right here. So this is the classic smoke wall with the delayed smoke. I'm assuming they're actually just not going to throw it down at all. That's a bit of a weird one, but
just going to set up an instead.
Yeah. So sacrificing body for body, that usually favors the T side, but yeah, normally when you can see some variety to the playstyle, that's when I like watching T sides being played out on Nuke. If this is the go-to for ex-Epsilon, and this is the only thing they know how to do, then they're in for a real rough time.
Yeah, definitely. We like to sort of see door dives as well. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're good fun.
Yeah, we see like Fury are probably one of the best teams at that. It's just being able to explode through the door, send Arts in as the first man. A lot of teams can't deal with it.
No, it's very weird, right? You're left in a situation where you, as a CT, you want to keep tabs on whoever's made it down to vents, but do you want to give up ramp control? Do you have someone from vents go down, play from secret after him? Like, how do you play with it? And a lot of teams aren't necessarily as confident about it. Speaking of vent dives, there's a terrible one, but all right, still makes it down with 52 HP. Now, I guess we'll get to see how OpTic decide to approach this issue. And this is also a thing that obviously comes into play in a pretty big way.
Oh my god,
Nico. I guess it might not be that much of a factor if Nico's going to do that, but yeah, a lot of the times you'll see the T sides, they're aware of like, yeah, getting people down into vent, that's a good thing, right? Like that's a good strat. But not necessarily understanding what they're meant to do with the one player who does go down through that.
Yeah, they kind of just send him there and then just leave him.
He kind of just hangs out for the next minute, doesn't really do anything, doesn't break a window, doesn't force any sort of reaction from the CT side.
I think you've got to send a player that's very intuitive himself.
Yeah,
very smart, yeah. I think you've got to send a player like that who can think for himself into those positions. Because too often we see some players that just don't function with their own brain. Yeah, they're told to do.
Move in a straight line, shoot when you see people.
Yeah, exactly. Not a great start after ex-Epsilon. Should have won the pistol, but they didn't. Won the force buy, and then after that, it's just the OpTic show.
Yeah. To be fair, this is kind of what we expected, though. This is a specialist map for OpTic.
Exactly.
They are one of those teams, and even before, when Nuke was very much a one-sided map, they were a team that they had these players would love to play it. It's a Danish map in many ways, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon.
Something that I love about Vertigo is that they've it's forced more teams to play Nuke, so we get to see a little bit more.
Yeah, I really enjoy Nuke, honestly. The only thing I think it might have been soured for some people in terms of watching is obviously it's an extremely difficult map to spectate, like as an observer.
Yeah,
it's hard to do. But I think the added benefits of having like the radar changes, etc., the fact that they've been able to alter these things has made it easier for observers as well.
Definitely.
So you actually get to see all the cool stuff.
Like when they go towards the lower bomb site.
Yeah, the radar changes. It's really nice. On the cell, well,
it's not really a position where you can fall back from.
Yeah. Slipped off the railing. Only got the leg shot onto Victor. Nico's getting tagged down pretty heavily as well, so ex-Epsilon looking to extend their lead. They're still going to have to deal with Cade here, though. This is such a hard position to deal with. 2 easy kills. Holds the entire push, and why not get a third? what was looking somewhat promising. Went quickly right.
Well, Tessus, he will send Surreal away. And we 7-1. And OpTic, that's 6 in a row for them.
Yeah. Feeling pretty good about themselves, even with a less than ideal start to the round, with MSL kind of getting caught out, slipping off the railing, not being able to fall back, as you said, stuck in a position where he has to jump out, making himself such a vulnerable target. They still find a way to fight back.
Yeah, not a big fan of that position, really.
Yeah, no, you're very reliant on finding the first frag and then ducking out completely. I think they're going to have a different approach to it, some kicking it off early, so more wiggle room. It's actually going to be MSL rotating all the way through underneath of the map, secret. Just going to post up with the op there. Another eco in from ex-Epsilon. We'll see that sometimes players who, I guess, go into this kind of position early on, they don't necessarily go too aggressive. MSL's still going to peer out. He's going to see one head, close to the other. And it's going to be very successful. 2 kills, knows that Victor's trapped behind, and here comes Nico.
Well, MSL's having a field day.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we see a lot of the time from MSL on this map. He gets towards the secret stairs, and he can just dominate it. So I want to see more of that. I'm a big fan of MSL on the ult. I think it's fun to watch.
It's actually been, he's been surprisingly consistent with how good he's been, especially getting opening frags for OpTic with this new lineup. We saw it in the past Invitational that allowed him to qualify for New York. The fact that he was always in the thick of things. And in the past, when he played for the early editions of North, Dignitas, those teams, he would be more or less the sacrificial game leader, and the fact that he would jump into an angle, maybe get an opening frag, but most likely just be traded out because he'd have Magic or Conflict falling behind him. And then fair enough, that worked out as well, but with the op in his hand as of right now, MSL has become a much more reliable source of opening frags and setting up your team in a, and still the same kind of fashion, just without having to give up your life, which is really, really good. And it's not often you see former riflers being able to make that kind of a transition. I mean, so many of these ex-riflers will have a good 2 weeks free. As we see Config he knows his angles.
Yeah, he does. That's the bomb as well, so could kill from Config. But yeah, MSL, the funny thing is, traditionally people would say MSL is very good with working with developers. Hopefully he can work with himself. It is going to be a push into what the side Victor does. Get one, but Config, yeah, definitely doing damage. That's another 2 added to his collection. And while Crucial is alone up on top of the marshmallow, and yeah, there's no chance for Crucial.
The problem for him is still 45 seconds left, right? There's so much money on the side of OpTic that he needs to stay out on the map and kind of maintain presence before he even attempts to save, because just hiding for 45 seconds is going to be really tough to do, and you can already see MSL. He's wandering about.
Yeah,
he might actually just get the back of Crucial if he's quick enough about this.
Rato needs to take a look at how Crucial just got off the top close silo.
Oh god, I remember that.
Well, MSL is just sneaking in behind. Crucial was on barrel spotted, and there it is. MSL drops him 9-1. We could have a pretty quick half on our hands.
It is looking that way, isn't it? I guess mentally, if you're ex-Epsilon, maybe you're just preparing for... this is like your warm-up map. You're really just focused on Inferno.
Yeah.
Looking to see how that's going to pan out, and can't really blame you.
Still not done yet, though. Still a chance to get 9-6, and they have got a bye coming into this one. Utility is not amazing, but they certainly have enough to come up with some plan. If it is going to be that standard outside execute, then maybe they've got a problem, but it's going to be a fast play towards the A-bomb side this time. Tessus will get 1, but the trade is in from Surreal, who gets 2. GG.Bet, though, keeps it even. NK shuts him down. Nico peeks through, but it's all on MSL. Into a 1v2 as ex-Epsilon finally finds some success in towards the A-bomb site. Although MSL knows it's going to be a vent dive, and there it is. MSL grabs the kill on the Spellin, and now it's on Crucial, 1v1.
MSL lurking about. He knows that the vent was, or bomb was dropped down into vents. Yes, he might be expecting this, and
he's definitely heard this as well.
Yeah, I don't think Crucial is going to be ready for it. MSL handles that nicely as well. 3 Eagle shots to the body of Crucial. And a 10th round for OpTic. They are really just having their way, aren't they?
Well, if you're Epsilon, that's literally your best chance yet, right?
Yeah.
You've got the man advantage. You've won the trade battle on the A-bomb site. You just can't really win the clutch.
yeah, that is pretty much the story of their lives right now. Not getting a whole lot done. But again, I'm not going to hold too much against them. I'm expecting, in many ways, the real match to start once we get over to Inferno. With the way it's looking right now, it might be not that long, not that far removed from that point.
Let's just do it all over again. Just act like it's you know, best of one.
What was that nade? Was that simply just to break the windows open? Himself inside of Squeaky.
Yeah, he's pushed up already, 13 HP. Pressure being put on towards him, and he will be caught by Crucial through the smoke. Tessus going for a push to the ramp room. He has got a kill on towards Crucial. Config again through the smoke. He's got X-ray vision. He's like Superman.
He's really finding everyone, isn't he? Spellin left alone on top of main roof. The second he drops down, he's going to be hurt. And he does not know that Nico's right around the corner. Still doesn't matter, apparently. It's a wild one.
Yeah, that's nasty.
But I guess in the grand scope of things, that might not mean all that much. Yeah, Config posted up and ready to deal with it eventually.
10 in a row. Yeah, it's not looking too great here for ex-Epsilon, to say the least. But they have, you know, got that loss bonus. They've got enough for a buy over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, I mean, really trying to stay positive here. No, it's true. They do get to buy up, but it doesn't feel like they have figured out too well how they want to approach this.
I mean, the team's just weird, right? You've got Victor, a Bulgarian, Spellin also, Crucial's Dutch, Surreal is British.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that they've kind of swapped around their lineups a fair bit. Obviously, Brokey used to play for this team, then he's been rumored to play with FaZe. Now he's not a part of Epsilon or ex-Epsilon anymore.
Yeah.
They've gone back and forth with a couple of lineups here and there. So we'll see what comes of it. We don't really know if this is meant to be their full five, if this is what they're committing to, or if there's some players on a trail basis.
Yeah.
Or trial basis, who knows?
The thing with Epsilon is, it's kind of, or ex-Epsilon is at the minute, it's always a team that is basically a showcase. It's not an actual team.
Yeah.
It feels like it's just, well, we're pretty much free agents, even though we're technically not, but we're just trying to prove that we're good players for someone to pick us up.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, is better than not doing anything at all, right?
Yeah.
Sitting on the sidelines, crossing your fingers that something's going to happen. Much better to consistently get some exposure and hopefully put up good performances. And to be fair, even though they're looking to be in a pretty rough spot now, that's not necessarily going to deter people from thinking that you're a good player because, again, they're going up against high-level opposition, and you're also you're not necessarily meant to win in that case. You're just doing this to display your individual side.
Also build, you know, stay relevant and build some...
Get match training as well. Speaking of getting ready for things, the upper bomb site push comes in, but Nico once again having the correct rotation time to find two. Leaves NK all alone, and it's 2v1. Bombs dropped in main. I think that's in the sights of Tessus as well.
Oh. Well, it wasn't, but NK walks into his sights, and MSL will drop him from the door. So 12-1. Hope they get it done again, but, you know, it was a pretty close one. It kind of feels like a few of these rounds could have went in favor of Epsilon, but realistically, we're always looking at a one-sided half from OpTic here.
Yeah. Again, this is meant to be home turf for the Danish team, so you'd be surprised if there was, I guess, that much more resistance from ex-Epsilon. So them getting close in a couple of rounds, sure, that's a good sign, but I think even if they were sitting at, let's say, ending the half at 11-4, something to that effect, it wouldn't be enough to win out the game regardless.
Well, rinse and repeat for Spellin, and it's, again, not successful in the vent dive.
These vent dives that he's been putting out are not the same kinds that we see through, or we'll see from teams like Furia or Team Liquid, etc., where the smoke goes in a different place, you're more covered, and they also find their way throughout the smoke. Spellin jumping makes life a whole lot harder and that much easier for OpTic as well. Nico shoots a couple of bullets through, but not going to find 2 kills like he did last time. Already, though, the rotation is in place. Might get to see Epsilon actually wait things out for once, not necessarily force the issue. We haven't seen a full swing down through Secret like this, and I think this is the first time actually it might have been the second time throughout the game, but this is just something that's very typical for Nuke.
Deep Molotov coming in to prevent Tessus from standing. At the bottom of the stairs. He's forced up towards the control room. This does give ex-Epsilon a little bit of space to work with. Flash goes around the corner, and they keep falling back because MSL's looking at the control window. He'll take the headshot on towards Crucial, and he falls away. But it's Victor who gets the kill back in, but again, Nico in a great position. Takes the bomb in while Surreal and Victor, they make 15 HP between them, but they've got a kill. So still a slight chance here. We're looking at ex-Epsilon trying to find at least something, but Victor will take a headshot. And it's into a 2v2.
Config, though, lurking in the shadows. Doors open as well, so that's it. Easy pre-fire for Config.
Yeah, I mean, if you're such low HP and you line up like that, even a stray bullet is enough to drop both of them. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Easy does it for Config. He's now up to 21 kills in the first half, 21 and 4.
Pretty impressive.
Having a field day. Yeah, starting off with that ace just set him off on a nice trajectory, didn't it? You can tell. We haven't really talked too much about Tessa's or Cajun, mainly because they haven't had all that much to do.
Exactly.
It has mainly been down to Nico's rotation from or around the main area, MSL poking about with it up, and Config pretty much being anywhere he's needed.
Yeah, the two quietest players would be on the top of the scoreboard or on there for ex-Epsilon, so that is not a great sign. The door does swing open, NK trying to charge through, but it's GG.Bet and Nico who pick up the first few kills. Crucial and NK though, able to salvage something back, and well, it's the man advantage for ex-Epsilon.
There we go, Tessa's with a quick flank though. We'll see if Crucial's ready for that eventually. Mazel Pearson through main. Not going to have an open shot onto anyone, but still early days, 35 seconds left on the bomb. Crucial. It was a little bit too far. Now NK's position's been spotted as well. They do still have Molotovs and AGs.
They have so much utility here, OpTic. Nick goes in, drops NK to 50. Molotov's going to be there as well. It's going to be forced to the open, but he gets a kill before falling, and that's absolutely perfect. MSL is your 1v1 up against Victor. Nick goes in, only drops him the 86 though. And MSL has to go to the P250 with the time ticking, starts to encroach on the bomb site, and Victor's got the kill. So there we go. Ex-Epsilon, at least they find something, but a 13-2 half coming in from OpTic.
100% increase in rounds to close out.
Yeah, that's sad, actually.
You have to spend it into the positive, right?
But is that positive?
It's better than 0% increase, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Ex-Epsilon just have to work with what they're given, right? Now, kind of cross their fingers, hope that they can muster together a pistol round win. It does really feel like it's just a matter of time before OpTic closes this one out and sends us to Inferno.
Ooh, Inferno. It could be a closer affair, but again, I just kind of have to see OpTic with that. We'll see if that is the case, though. It is going to be a flash in towards the A bomb site. Crucial. It's going to be avoided. Head towards the old vent. It will be Spellin. He actually draws first blood on towards Config. And we're into a man advantage for the CT side to play with. They should have won the pistol in the first half if it wasn't for the antics of Config. So we'll see if OpTic can recover this in the 4v5. MSL's in a great position. They're going to drop towards it. There's 3 kills for MSL. And that just falls apart as the 4th comes in as well. MSL, what is going on in that vent?
Oh man, talk about having, like, setting people up for a trap right there. Getting ramp control through under heaven, just knowing how you're going to funnel the rotations coming in from the CTs, right? That's such a good job from OpTic.
Yeah, they just keep dropping, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they were thinking to themselves.
We ended up getting the first kill.
And
no going back.
In any case, like, it's not like they had too much of an avenue to do anything else. That's also the issue. Effective flashes into the upper bomb site, and Config and Cajun have already cleared this out. And this should be easy, does it? Surreal thinks he might have a chance of backstabbing, but MSL posted up at the very back of the lobby. He's going to have no issues with that.
Yeah, so Spellin and Crucial into an unwinnable position, really. So might as well save the utility and the Kevlar and the Deagles into the next and try and start their campaign to find at least a couple more rounds. I'm going to pretty much shut the book here. I'm going to say OpTic probably just close this.
Yeah, it's hard-pressed to see how ex-Epsilon are going to bring this back. There we go. Tessa's just adding some more cash to his bank. Spellin gets caught out as well and doesn't really stand much of a chance as Config comes in from behind as well. Flawless from the Danes.
Yep,
having a good time.
It's going to be a terrible buy here from ex-Epsilon.
Yeah, and it really is. They didn't get the benefit of bringing some Kevlar over into this one. So more of the same, I suppose. 2 MP9s, 2 D golds, and a ZZ. Some utility. We'll see if OpTic just want to close this as quickly as possible and just run at it like we saw the last round with early push onto the upper bomb site or not. Seems like the focus is going to be out towards Yard instead, though. You know, they're going up against a lackluster amount of utility on the side of ex-Epsilon, so they don't necessarily have to be too afraid of nade stacks in that sense.
We've seen a couple of tenacious teams yesterday that just kept
Wouldn't give up,
prolonging the inevitable.
Gamer Legion.
Yeah. Shout out to those guys. CajunB is going to drop Victor. One kill comes back in from Spellen, though, but the advantage is still in the hands of OpTic, who want to try and keep it going. But Spellen lining up perhaps a second player, but luckily Testis is able to pick that one up. And Crucial's here in the bottom lines. It will be a kill in the Deagle, and it is a 2v2 here. Perhaps OpTic starting to sweat slightly.
Bit of a waste of utility there. 2 Molotovs going down to hold off the same door config. There we go. Now knows where Crucial is and still going to get out of dodge. Doesn't get punished.
Yeah. Knows his teammate's low as well, so he can't really afford to take that fight. And Testis is going to go down, so it's all on config. 1 versus 2. Molotov smoke still available here for NK. Config has used up his final bit of utility, but he's still on the bomb site. Smoke comes in towards the site from NK. Molotov comes in towards config. He's got the kill and falls away. Still 37 HP as Crucial runs in towards the site. It's config that takes a 16-2 win for OpTic here on map 1.
Yeah, easy does it for the Danes, and deserved victors on Nuke. I think that was pretty much what we'd expect from the get-go. Game really just, or the series really starts once we get into Inferno.
Yeah, Inferno, we've always talked about that map being the one that should be a bit more competitive, we'll say, on paper. And I feel like Nuke was always going to be a done deal for OpTic.
Absolutely.
The Danes are always great at that map.
They really are. They just have an affinity for it. They really love it. They're the kind of players who play it in pugs and everything when everyone else shies away from it like it's the pest. So you kind of see how it pays out and how it pays off for them in the long run of things. So that's well deserved. Going into Inferno. Couple of things that could come into fruition there. For the fact that we haven't really seen OpTic play it for what 3+ months.
Yeah, well, they have been preparing, so hopefully they've got something ready for us.
You'd imagine so, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing if they do have anything prepared. With Danish dominance on Nuke, we'll see if ex-Epsilon can get it done on the second map, Inferno.